Is 2027 the end of LEGO Castle? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. There's a lot of things happening right now from LEGO that could mean that LEGO Castle is about to die. It's about to join a lot of other original LEGO themes, be put in the grave, rest in peace. But also, we're getting some leaks that maybe that's not the case, that maybe LEGO is actually doing some stuff with LEGO Castle. LEGO Fantasy in a whole is just kind of holding on right now. Now, I've been wanting to do this video for a bit, kind of talk about the future of LEGO Castle and what we know is coming and what might be happening, theories I have, and all of that. And also, what else is happening with LEGO Fantasy in the moment. And when I was talking to a good friend of mine, we were also both like, wait, we have a similar idea for a video, let's just do it together. So, to talk about this topic with me, I felt like it was only important to bring on another LEGO Castle content creator, and that is Rio Bricks.
Hey, how's it going,
What's
guys?
up?
I'm Rio, the guy behind Rio Bricks. My channel's everything Castle and Fantasy. I cover like news, custom figures, some Lord of the Rings stuff. I am like all my Lego collecting. It's Lego Castle and Lego Fantasy. I'm a huge Castle fan.
And that is the reason I was like, yo, like I gotta have him on. We've never done a collab video together. Yeah, no, this is actually our first collab video together.
We've been talking for like a while about doing something. It's like, yeah, we both have the same video idea. This is the time to do it.
Oh, for sure. And with everything that's going on right now, this is especially the time. And for the record, we did try to get Goldfire on here, but he didn't want to do it, so it's okay. It's okay.
There may be a future collab with him in the future. You know, a little birdie told me.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe a little squirrel told you about that. Or a raven. No.
Yep.
Yeah. But with that, we want to get right into things, guys, because there's a lot to talk about here, okay? There's been lots of stuff. And now, when I originally planned to do this video, it seemed like 2026 was the last year of Castle. But it's looking a lot different now. So first off, we did get the Sea Serpent this year, which was, in my opinion, a great little set. Again, we all hated that it was a GWP and everything about that. I know you have some other opinions on this set, but
no, I mean, I was pretty happy with the Sea Serpent. I just thought they could have done, I don't know, a little bit more with it. But I mean, honestly, like if this was like a $25, $30 set on shelves, I probably would not have a single complaint. I'd be like, cool, it's a set, it's fine.
Yeah.
But when it's like the only like actual Castle set that we're getting for the year and it's a gifted purchase, and then it's like, okay, well, this doesn't really live up to our expectations, then it's a little more disappointing, because then it's like, okay, well, I feel like for like the one Castle set, we could have gotten something a little more exciting, you know? I mean, my main thing was the Prince, but you know, it also is a gifted purchase.
That's fair. And honestly, I felt that way because we also got our one fantasy CMF for the year, which was the Elven Princess, or whatever you want to call that. And I felt that way about it too, where it was like, for our one thing this year, this is what we get. Like, it's an all right figure, but those torso and legs, I don't feel like are as versatile as past Castle figures we've gotten. And I'm not even saying we needed a knight. Like the Goat Herder, I love because it was such a versatile figure. And this figure, I just, especially the hair, like if it had not been golden and more like a blonde or a black or like, I feel like so much more versatile. Or even a pair of elf ears.
Elf ears, that would have like so much better. Or yeah, like you said, I mean, that was like my initial thing when I saw the figure. I was like, this hairpiece looks cool, but like gold is like really not super usable because it's like gold hair. Like I don't have any other, you know, non-fantasy races like characters that have gold hair, so it's just like, you know, for our one thing, you know. And the thing is, you mentioned the goat herder, and it's like the goat herder was also a great CMF, and also not only did we get the goat herder, we also got Basil. So it's like, you know, that was a series where it's like you get, you know, one guy with like a little bit more of generic parts, and like it's still great, and then you get Basil, so it's like you at least get like two like really good things.
And don't forget that was the Barbarian.
Oh and the Mushroom Girl. The Mushroom Girl had some really good fantasy parts. The Harpy, I don't know. Harpy kind of underrated. I mean, it's not like super versatile, but I think the parts are usable for fantasy. I feel like half the figures from that series were like pretty well usable for like fantasy stuff.
Yeah, this one, it had some good figures in it, but again, it's just the one fantasy figure where I remember when we were all, you know, in the Castle Discord server, you know, shout out to the Castle Discord server, link down below. Like, I remember we're all sitting there, like, waiting for this figure to get leaked. And then when it did, and we all saw it, we're like,
yeah.
Like, this it?
It was pretty disappointing.
Okay. So, like, again, this year has kind of not really been the ideal year for Lego Castle. Now, we did have an amazing year last year with the Horse Knight Castle. And also we got the mini vending machine.
Yeah.
And there was the
Wolfpack Beastmaster. Like, top tier CMF right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got how many new castle figures last year that were just like 4, 5? You know, so
well, but if you count the unique
6.
Horse Knight prints, then
yeah,
no, it's like 6 technically. I think, yeah.
So we got quite a few, and this year's just been like barely anything. And don't forget that we also had everything retire castle-wise. Viking Village, Lion Knight's Castle, all of that retired at the end of last year. So, like, everything just seems like it's kind of like getting shoved under the rug now, and Lego's not doing anything with it.
Yeah, it really seemed like, you know, the end of 2025, it's like the stuff started retiring, but then I was like, okay, the new factions are coming to Pick-a-Brick, so we have something to look forward to. Then they hit Pick-a-Brick, and it's like, okay, this is great. We can army build these. What's next? Like, what are we getting? And there's just like, oh, there's the Sea Serpent that we heard about like a year and a half ago. That's finally happening. And it's like, is there anything else? Like, there's no castle sets on shelves besides the Horse Knight one.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get a Black Knight's Castle remake this year. I was like, okay, they're doing the Sea Serpent gift with purchase. This seems like a great excuse for them to remake that. And plus, it's like, you know, that's just like the iconic classic castle set, aside from like the Yellow Castle.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, I for sure thought we were going to get another like $300 to $500 flagship set 2026. And I was like, oh, that's a little disappointing.
Yeah, because we thought something was going to replace the Lion Knight's Castle.
For sure. Yeah.
Because Lion Knight's Castle was probably one of the best sold castles probably ever. Like, I mean, it did fantastic. And it's beloved by people who aren't even Lego Castle fans. So to me, it's just like it's such an amazing set. And I get it. It was made for the 90th anniversary of Lego, but it's still weird that they're not following that up, that they didn't see the success of that. I guess because they got, Medieval Town Square didn't do as well. But it's also like,
yeah,
still,
but it's like,
sets,
you know, if you look at the secondary market price, the second the Lion Knight's Castle retired, it jumped up like $600. Went from $400 to $600. 50% increase in like the matter of like a couple weeks after it retiring. Like, clearly there's demand right there for Castle. It's not like a set that's kind of just like dead on the shelves. Like, you know, and it's like, all right, now many people want it. Everyone who's got it has got it. It's like, you know, there were probably still people saving up for it who wanted to get that. And then just, okay, well, don't get that. What else is there? Oh, there's like the Horse Knight Castle, which is a play set. And like, there's the vending machine, which has castle figures, but is not a castle set. It's like, those are the closest things we have. And it's like, you know, especially considering the fact that, yes, the castle fan base is a lot of adults who had castle as kids. Like, you want a flagship set on store shelves or like at the Lego store online where it's like, here's the big castle set. I had a castle as a kid. Like, I want to get this cool display piece. It doesn't really make sense to me that there's not something to replace it this year.
Yeah, and even still, like, your majority of Castle fans are adults. Like, you know, the fact that, you know, people our age are getting into Lego Castle now because, you know, we had Kingdoms as a kid because we had Fantasy Era 2013. Like, we grew up on those, and now we have adult money where we're like, well, I don't know what else to spend my money on. And I want to buy that stuff because I didn't have it as a kid.
Yeah.
And then also on top of it, you have kids who would totally, like, I know for a fact, both of us get comments all the time of like kids being like, I want to get into Lego Castle. Lego Castle's awesome. And then it's like, okay, like where's the stuff for them? And honestly, I think also an issue right now is, you know, we're talking about fans. Fans are expecting a lot out of Lego Castle. And the issue is every time we get a castle set, all the castle fans' hopes and dreams are being put on that one set or minifigure. We finally see it, as we said, with the Sea Serpent and stuff, and we're all just disappointed.
Yeah.
Because all of us put our dreams on that, and it's like, well, you know, Black Knights are coming back. I hope we get the armor. I hope we get feathers. I hope we get a new shield. I hope we get new legs and torso prints. I hope we get... It's like, no, because not all of that's going to be able to happen in one set, unless it's a $400 flagship set like you do with the Lion Knight's Castle.
Yeah.
And I think the hard thing is Lego sees that and goes, well... okay, not many people are buying the Horse Knight Castle. Guess they don't like it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, people like it, but also other people are just like, okay, that's not the castle set I wanted.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the Horse Knight Castle it's definitely aimed at kids. Like it's aimed to be a play set.
Yes.
But the problem is it's kind of in that awkward like middle stage where it's $130. So it's like kind of at that adult price point where like a kid can't easily buy it unless it's like a big Christmas gift or like a birthday gift or something. But then adult like an adult, you know, unless you're combining it into like multiple is like, it's kind of like a okay set. Do I really need it? No, not really. You know, it's like, so, you know, I feel like it's at like an awkward middle point and it's like, that's the castle set we have. And it's like, well, yeah, just, it doesn't really appeal well to either of the audiences that it should be appealing to.
Yeah, and I think that's the really hard thing about that set is why I think they should do a $50 3-in-1 set because then it fits that play set really well, and then the adults would still buy it because we want it. I mean, like the great thing about the Horse Knight Castle was the figures, and to me it was like, well, they just made it like the last 3-in-1 Castle was really great, but those figures sucked. And so to me it was really cool. Thumb being like, hey, here's all brand new figure parts. Like there's so many new figure parts. I mean, they introduced a blue hood, and as Mr. Ranger, I was so excited. Like this, there was plenty of things in there that they did right. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little bit tough because right now where we stand is just like you're not really appealing to any audiences.
Yeah,
because you're just throwing stuff out there.
Yeah.
So with that, what do we actually know that we're getting for Lego Castle? And I want to go through the list that we have here because there have been some leaks.
Yeah.
So first off, we do know what's happening with CMF Series 30. Let's see if I can. There we go. Okay. So first off, in this list, if you can read it, there is supposed to be a knight that is a remake of the Raven Knight, which everyone's very excited about. Do you want to talk more about that, Rio?
I mean, the Raven Knight is like, they're like a top 3 faction for me. So like, I am so excited.
Top 3 most overrated faction of all time. Sorry, what? No.
they're definitely more expensive than like, you know, if we're talking about like price per how good they are, probably not that good. Yeah, they're probably overrated in that sense.
Yeah.
But just like, they have very nice contrasting colors. Pearl Dark Gray. You're not going to disagree with this. Best armor color for sure.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
besides dark green.
That's not an armor color. That's not an armor color.
There is. In Knights Kingdom 2, we got dark green armor.
That's true. And that is a really good piece. But yeah, no. I mean, the Raven Knight remake, everybody's excited about this. I mean, obviously Lego saw that the Raven Knight is like the most expensive CMF on the secondary market. And it's like, it seems like a no-brainer. And like, you know, we're getting the mace piece from the D&D Paladin, which is like in actual flat silver. So that's a really usable color. There's not like really good mace options that are affordable right now. So that's great. Shoulder armor, hopefully the Pearl Dark Gray shoulder pads, a cape. Who doesn't like capes? And then it's just like, I mean, they're definitely not going to like remake the exact print. But like, I kind of hope we get maybe some more like generic armor with like a Raven shield, you know, like generic, like more generic Pearl Dark Gray, like scale mail or chainmail armor, and then like a Raven shield. Cause then you can use that for like green dragons and like other factions. But yeah, I'm super excited about the tournament night coming out. And I think probably everyone watching this is.
Yeah, and I definitely am excited about the figure. I'm going to give it a lot of crap because I think it's like Black Knights to me. It's just like, why is there a cult following here?
I can agree with you on the Black Knights. I can agree with you there. Okay.
Yeah. But at least the Raven Knights are cool, and I do love their color scheme. Like, there's so much going for them. I just always struggle because I'm just like, it's such an expensive figure. But I am excited for this. However, it's gonna be so hard to get this figure because like, if the Wolfpack Beastmaster is any indicator, army builders are gonna go ham over this one. Now, I will say, this is the third faction that we are seeing from the vote, from the Lego Ideas vote for the next Castle faction. And I have a theory about where the fourth one might come out in a second here, but I want to quickly get through the rest of this. We're also getting a squirrel knight, like a child knight that's going to have like a squirrel symbol. I'm guessing it's going to be very similar to the pink crown knight that we got series, what is that, 23?
20, yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
That was
23.
Oh, jeez, that was that long ago?
Yeah.
That
was a while ago.
So I'm kind of excited for that. I really hope that we can like pop off the armor and there's like a tabard print underneath, kind of like art. You know, I don't know. A Squirrel Knight could have some really interesting colors, and I think that'd be really fun to make. And I also think a Squirrel Knight Ranger sounds like a blast to make.
I mean, that's like, yeah. Oh, yeah. No. I mean, I really hope it's dark green. I mean, you and I both agree. Dark green is like the best color for like castle factions. So like,
yes,
I really hope it's a dark green with like some brown. I feel like, and I mean, that just fits the color scheme. So it's like, yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Yeah. Even like some dark tan thrown in there,
yeah.
You could have a really good faction with that. I also, because like my follow up after dark green is olive green.
Yeah,
I would not mind more olive green. Like
we need more.
Parts.
We need more dark tan and olive green like castle parts.
Yes.
So like any of those dark tan, olive green, or dark green, any of those are like the top picks for like the main part of the color scheme. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. There is also an Oni warrior in that list of what we were just talking about there.
Yeah, I am interested to see that.
I'm definitely excited about that. It is interesting that we're getting Oni warriors in... Oh. So we're getting Oni warriors in the Ninjago Legend sets, I believe they're called. Oh, no, not Legend. Duskfall sets. So... We're getting Oni Warriors in that, and I wonder if this Oni Warrior is going to be connected to those, or if it's going to be its own cool thing. Because
maybe
I think it's be cool if it's its own cool thing, but I could also see them like attaching it to Ninjago somehow. But who knows?
I mean, yeah, I mean that Lloyd really opened up the possibilities. The Lloyd from the Series 29. It's like, okay, well now they're willing to put just like actual Ninjago figs in the CMFs, and like regular CMFs. It's like, okay, well, seems like we'll probably see some more in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. But yeah, overall, I think this is like compared to this year's one.
Yes.
This is definitely a CMF wave to be excited about.
I mean, this year the fancy figure wasn't even my favorite. It was the Monster Hunter. Like,
yeah,
the Monster Hunter had better parts than the actual castle, like the fancy figure. I was like, what? Come on.
Yeah. It was such a good figure. And like, honestly, that was my favorite. And the fact that it connected to so many other figures. I did a whole video about everything it connects to. But like the fact that it connects to all that stuff, I was like, so I mean, I bought like a couple extras. I still want to buy more of them just to part them out.
I probably bought like 15. I used like the legs for like my Rohan soldiers. I was using it for random ones. I have a Series 29 video that should have been done a month ago that I'm going to post here in a couple days that I'm like customizing. So yeah, like the Monster Hunter parts, like so good. So good.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So following that up, we are getting a castle set for next year, Rio. And this is a set that I think we're all super excited about.
Yeah.
It's going to be Icon Slop 18 plus Castle Claw Machine based on the yellow castle. Can we give it up for Icon Slop? Oh my goodness.
We love it. This is the castle set we wanted. No real castle. We just wanted this. That's all we want.
Yeah, castle. This is the dumbest thing. Like, props to LEGO for seeing that the minifigure vending machine, the thing that everyone cared about was the figures. And I think the set did well enough, but I also hate these stupid gimmick sets. We just got the space pinball machine. We've been getting a lot of these gimmick sets.
That was such
the Donkey Kong one.
To like space fans, it's like, okay, there's a space set coming out. Oh, it's just like a gimmick thing. It's not like an actual space set. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, and you finally get that space helmet you've all been dying for. Like.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, the thing is, LEGO knows that, like, Pick-a-Brick is, like, a top seller for castle stuff. So, like, they know that, like, no matter what set they put castle figures into, like, once that hits Pick-a-Brick, it's going to sell. But it's like, you could have at least given us, like, an actual castle here, you know? And then Pick-a-Brick to, like, supplement army building, you know, on the side.
I wonder if... Okay, this is going to get into... Okay. I think because we're going to talk about all four of these together in a way. We're also getting 3 Lord of the Rings sets, and I just want to quickly bring these up because it's going to go with a thought that I had about this claw machine. We're also getting Prancing Pony, which is honestly pretty exciting for that one. Also from Lord of the Rings, we're getting Helm's Deep, and this was a set that was announced a bit ago. We're also getting leaked a bit ago. The Oliphant. And for the record, all these leaks are coming from BrickTap. You should go definitely follow the BrickTap because if you want leaks, they're great about it. We're only talking about like fantasy ones. There's so many other leaks that have been happening.
Yeah.
I wonder if the reason we aren't getting a physical castle is because this year we got Minas Tirith, and next year we're getting Helm's Deep, and Helm's Deep is your classic gray castle. From what we know from the movie, and if we look at the older set, it's gonna be a gray castle.
Yeah. No, I was actually talking to my coworker about this. I was like, the thing is, I was talking about how I was unhappy about there not being a castle set this year, and he's like, well, Minas Tirith is like a big like white like castle, and I was like, okay, yeah. I guess I can kind of see that. And it's like, yeah, if we're getting Helm's Deep, I mean that's just like your classic like stone gray castle, and it's like, so I can't understand in that sense why Lego maybe doesn't want to release a castle set alongside that. Because there's definitely a very similar market for like Lord of the Rings and castle stuff. Just like all the fantasy stuff, there's like a lot of overlaps in like the market for who wants to collect that. And it's like, I think Lego's ramping up Lord of the Rings stuff, maybe because of the Hunt for Golem movie coming at the end of 2027, because it's like there's going to be a ton of hype about that. And then, the 50th anniversary of Castle is 2028. And it's like, that could be the year we finally see some of like the heavy hitters. But,
wait, it's 2028. Yeah. Cause I guess it was
1978 was the Yellow Castle.
Yeah. Okay. Cause I thought when you kept saying that you meant next year.
No.
Cause my brain was like, oh, are they doing the claw machine as the 50th anniversary for Castle?
That would really suck. Yeah.
I agree. I personally think that. Okay, so going back to the claw machine, because keeping with Lord of the Rings, I'll keep on that track thought. I agree with you. I think that and I talked about this in my script for later. Like, I genuinely think that Hunt for Gollum is going to be a flop. I hope it's not. I hope it's a good movie. But I think that Lego and Warner Brothers wants to hype up Lord of the Rings as much as they can this year and until this movie comes out, so that people are like, oh, new Lord of the Rings movie, I should go see that because I've been buying Lord of the Rings Lego. There's the new Lord of the Rings video game that's dropping this year, and like other stuff like that. And so it's like, I think that they're just like, let's get Lord of the Rings on the brain. That way people go see it. Because I watched War of the Rohirrim and I thought it was a garbage movie.
So I mean, also Rings of Power. Rings of Power was such a disappointment.
Oh, so bad.
Yeah,
it's
I mean, I kind of agree with you. I'm like, I really don't want the Hunt for Golem to flop because I'm like, that's like my favorite like IP ever is like Lord of the Rings, and I'm like, I really want it to be good, but also just like based on what we've been seeing, I'm not like super hopeful that it's gonna be like a box office like hit. Like, oh yeah, this is a top selling movie. Like, I don't know. They could definitely.
I don't even need it to be a top selling movie. I just need it to be a fun, good movie that I want to like actually watch. If I want to watch it again after going to see it, I will know it's a win. If there's like, and again, there's amazing actors coming back, which is like, we're going to be seeing a ton of elves and stuff like that. And there's like all this stuff that sounds awesome to me.
Yeah.
But I'm also very worried about this.
Well, yeah, there's also the Shadows of the Past project that I think is going to come like the Shadows of the Past, like Lord of the Rings, like movie. I think it's like 2028 or like 2029. So it's like, we got Lord of the Rings movies upcoming, and I think 2027 is the year where Lego might finally start ramping it up, getting people hyped. And then, I mean, the hope is obviously whether the Hunt for Golem movie is good or not, that we get a Lord of the Rings line with it. Because it's like just having Lord of the Rings sets, even if you're not a Lord of the Rings fan, it's like, it's fantasy figures that you can use. There's like good parts for building your own stuff. It's just like, if we're going to get a full line of something, this seems like either this or the 50th Castle anniversary is like one of the two where we might actually see a full release of multiple sets in like a theme and not just like, here's a set here, here's a set here.
Yeah. And that's what I'm hoping for too. And Lord of the Rings is sort of becoming its own theme again. Like, I don't know. We'll see. Because, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Because we're finally getting more sets. We're getting more price points. I mean, the fact that it's Prancing Pony and all that, like, there's a wide range there. And it's 3 sets. It's not just like a helmet too.
Yeah.
Like, we're getting
3 actual sets. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm definitely excited for the Alifon. I've been excited for that since the leaks happened. Helm's Deep will be very interesting. I'm definitely gonna get it. I might even sell my old Helm's Deep before then because I don't care about that set.
Honestly, fair. Yeah.
And I think the Prancing Pony will be one of the most bought out of those three because it's probably gonna be a building that, you know, kind of feels like I got medieval, you know, the village or, you know, one of those kinds of sets. Like it's not a castle, it's just like a medieval style building. So depending on what figures come with that, I think that one's going to be very sought after just because people are going to want to add it to their like medieval villages or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
I'm
again, we don't know what these sets look like.
I'm easily the most excited for Prancing Pony because I love medieval villages. I'm actually working on like a modular Lego medieval village that any of my viewers, you guys will see this on YouTube at some point. And it's like, like the Prancing Pony Inn, it's just like it's a great location, and it's like, even though it's not as exciting as like a huge battle like Helm's Deep, I think it might actually sell better because it's like it's a little more, it'll be probably a little more like generic, and it's like, you know, castle fans are like, hey, you know, even if I don't care about Lord of the Rings, here's a medieval tavern I could add and swap out the figures to like my own and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it'll probably
definitely
see
people. Well. Yeah, I can definitely see people buying multiple to just sell off the figures and keep multiple of the buildings. Like, you know, there's going to be a lot of things. I can that one's going to be very interesting to watch.
Yeah.
But so yeah, going back to it, Claw Machine. That's gonna again. I hate that this is going to be the castle set of next year. However, I am very interested in a few things here. The figures, because we have no clue what those figures are going to be, how many it is. I am wondering if they're going to stick to castle or if they're going to do what they did with the minifigure vending machine and give us a wide range of figures. So I think, though, because it's kind of hinting right now, I'm guessing a majority of them will be castle figures. But I think we're going to get the Bull Knights in that. I have nothing to prove that. All it is we got the Raven Knight, Kraken, and Griffins. The last one we're missing from that vote is Bulls.
No, I think
I wouldn't be surprised if someone at Lego had designed all four of those factions before the vote had even like been finished.
Maybe. Yeah.
So,
no, I mean, like you said, they've done 3 out of the 4. You know, it's one thing if it's one thing if they only did 2 out of the 4, and then they're like, okay, they do nothing else. It's like, okay, maybe we're not getting them. But it's like, now that we know we're getting the Raven, it's like, I mean, they got to do the Bulls, and it's like this is the set to do it. If it's just like a castle claw machine, it's like, okay, you can definitely throw the Bulls in there for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And again, like a lot of times what Lego does, and I've heard Lego doing this, is they'll take something they already have designed and go, well, we already have this designed. Why don't we throw it in this set?
Interesting.
So that would make a lot of sense to me if Lego went that way. And also, let's say there is 12. I'm guessing for the record, if there is like 12 figures, 14, 15, whatever.
Vending machine 10, had 16.
Maybe.
So like
16.
The like so like I don't know, hopefully around there.
I would say if it's around 16, I would say it's going to do the same thing where it's like if we get a Griffin Knight, we're going to get a second Griffin Knight, which I'm fine with in a way. Because I know for me, I'm going to have to buy this set because I'm going to have to review those figures.
Oh, yeah.
So please like this video because I'm going to need to be able to afford that set.
Well, I mean, you know, let's say it is all castle figures and there's like 16. That even if there's 2 of like a pair, that would still be 8 different like unique torso and leg prints, like 8 different factions.
Yeah.
So it's like, and, you know, that's what gives me hope about this. That like, yeah, I probably am not going to like the set. But if they at least give us all castle figures and they give us new stuff and not just like reusing like Griffins and Krakens and stuff, but it's like
I have a feeling. I will say, I have a feeling the Griffin torso is going to reappear in this set.
It might,
but I have a feeling it's going to be like a torso, but maybe they'll do new legs with it, or maybe a new like. There's going to be some new shield or something they throw with it, but I have a feeling that it will appear.
I mean, as long as they're not just like copy and pasting, like here's a Griffin with the exact same stuff as like. The vending machine, then I'm like, okay, that's kind of lazy. But like, you know, if they're changing up stuff and whatnot, you know, if we're just getting new prints, like that's the thing that excites me. And since it says Yellow Castle themed, I think there is a good chance it will be like castle figures because the vending machine was very much just like vending machine, no theme, like red, vending machine. But this, it says castle themed. So I mean, like if the leak is true and it really is, you know, focused on the yellow castle, you know, there's a good chance we could get a good amount of new castle prints. So I mean, that's like the silver lining there.
And I think Lego learned their lesson about Pick-a-Brick. I think
Yeah.
Lego is starting to realize Pick-a-Brick is their money maker.
Yeah.
Because again, they throw all of those factions on Pick-a-Brick, all those single parts, millions.
Oh,
I'm calling it now millions. Or maybe not millions, but thousands, like hundreds of thousands of dollars are going to be poured into that. I mean, who's going to be the first person to get a 1,000 of one of those factions like that right there?
Oh yeah,
you know,
no, oh for sure.
1,000 times, what was it? Like almost, let's see, was it almost $5 to build out a Griffin figure?
For a Griffin figure with the shield is like $5. Yeah.
So 1,000, that's $5,000 right
I mean,
there.
if Shy Time is my time wants to make another army, that'll
exactly.
be like $10,000 for Lego right there,
Exactly.
Like no, like there is those big army builders who are like, I want to have a ton of these, and it's like Pick-a-Brick is what makes it possible. And I mean, just from like a business perspective, I feel like Lego has to have like good profit margins on that, because it's like, if a figure is $5 and you can get like a Star Wars battle pack for like that comes with 4 figures and a build, and that's like a little over like $20, it's like this is like business to consumer. Like just from like a business standpoint, it seems like Pick-a-Brick is like a good money maker for them. So it's like they have all the incentive to keep releasing new things onto Pick-a-Brick that like, and castle parts are the top selling thing on Pick-a-Brick. Like I saw this somewhere. It's like castle parts are the thing that sells the most. So it's like they have every incentive to keep making new castle parts because they know they'll sell. They know they'll sell.
And this connects to another thing that we're getting here soon, but like BDP. If you don't make new castle parts, you're not going to be able to keep doing BDP castles, and BDP castles sell very well. And I think that is something that Lego is realizing, that they have to keep sticking new castle parts into at least 1 or 2 new sets every year.
Yeah.
Or every other year, because they need that supply of new castle parts or same castle parts still in production, that they can then go, hey, this is in the BDP portfolio, so that people will use it in a BDP set and then do it. Because coming out, we have all right, I'm skipping ahead here. Elven Citadel and Royal Nest was recently announced as BDP sets. And then don't forget about the Inn. And then we also have the Joust. And I'm guessing some of those, like this one, I'm guessing we're going to get the factions that were set in it. Maybe this one. These two, that's going to be all new castle parts. That's either going to be parts from the CMF or parts from, probably too late for this set. But, like, I am calling it now. Whatever new castle stuff they put out in BDP, they're going to need these new parts, and they're going to be using as many of these parts as Alex can get his hands on.
Especially the Elven Citadel. It's like, there's not proper elves. It's just like random looking people in like horse knight torsos. Like you got to have something a little more than that to like, otherwise then the figures are just like really below par. So like, and like the Royal Nest, I mean, you could do that with other factions for sure.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get to that theory later on, actually. Sorry. I had this whole plan list, guys, and of where we're going to go with this, but I think this is a great time. So I'm going to quickly play this video.
So, yeah, we've got a lot of fun things coming with this model, so stay tuned for next year. Similar, there's some new things on the horizon that we'll be able to take advantage of, which will be a lot of fun.
Okay, so that is Alex talking about Royal Nest. He is basically hinting there that we're getting new castle parts, which, in my opinion, goes right with Claw Machine and the CMFs.
Yeah.
I personally think they're going to do a Raven Knight Royal Nest. You don't even have to change the name. Raven Knights even make more sense to do the Royal Nest.
I think it'll probably be the Ravens. I mean, yeah, but it's like, it also is possible it could be a Claw Machine faction. But I mean, with the Beastmaster, we saw the shield and the wolf with the Wolfpack hideout. So it's like they're definitely willing to put the CMF parts when they're necessary. They're not in the base BDB palette for anyone to design with. But it's once it hits like the finals and they're like doing the final designs, it's like if they have access, they'll make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah, and they want, like, Alex, from what I've heard, tries to get as many of those news parts as possible. And I know that Goldfire also had that theory, but for the record, he got that theory from me. It's in his video even. I want to make sure that is known, because I was sitting in the castle Discord and we were talking. I was like, wait, hold up. It makes, like, because they use the shields, as you said, they use the wolf.
Oh yeah, also
I can see it
they
happening.
used the Rivendell beard in the alchemist shop. They used Gloin's
Okay.
or they used they used Gloin's white beard on the wizard. So that's also a set from like a from a licensed IP that they use in BDP.
Yeah.
Like they can definitely get what they want in BDP if somebody's gonna fit the build.
Yeah, I know they won't be able to get like elf ears from like Rivendell or something like that, but there are parts that they can get, because like the elf beard is generic enough that they can use that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Those are definitely a little bit of hopeful things that we're getting in those areas. Now I will say, also on top of it, one of the other fantasy sets right now that we know that's coming is the 18 plus Zelda set. We know nothing about. Oh, is this something? Yeah, I guess sometime in 2026 this will come out. No, this is not the one that's already come out. This is gonna be a different one from the sounds of it. So I don't care too much. I've never played Zelda. That's why I don't have like too much spot. But again, that's something else that we can get some new fantasy parts and figures with.
I mean, I've played like 5 hours of Zelda, so I'm obviously an expert. But
okay. Yeah, exactly. You're more of an expert than I am.
The Ocarina of Time remake for Zelda is coming out at the end of 2026. And that's like the like classic like Zelda game that like everyone loves. So it'll probably be something based on the Ocarina of Time remake coming out, because it's like the game is going to drop and it's like people want to buy stuff for it. I think it might be Hyrule Castle, but I don't know.
Surprised they haven't done that yet. Ooh, that'll be
and that could be like a castle set for 2026.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I would be very interested to see if they actually did that because of Helm's Deep. Like, both great castles, but I don't know.
This is 2026. This is this.
Yeah.
This is like the end of this year. So it's like Minas Tirith is like kind of castle-y, but it's not like a proper castle. Like we haven't gotten any sets this year that are like an actual castle. So it's like Hyrule Castle could be that slot if they want to have like a castle type set. It very well could be it very well could be, you know, a castle. Yeah.
That's fair.
And plus the Zelda sets have cool parts. So, you know, either way,
I agree.
Cool. Yeah.
It's a win. It's a win. The other thing that came out this year is the Shrek CMFs, and we are getting supposedly more Shrek sets next year. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I haven't actually talked about this very publicly on my channel. I hate these. I think this was the stupidest. I don't know. I think there's so many bad molds. Like Prince Charming, I think is going to be very useful and very sought after by castle fans. There's definitely other parts like that. Like even some of the parts from Shrek will be great for peasants. If you want a Dragonborn for your D&D customs, Dragon. But like there are a lot of parts that I'm looking at this. I'm like, yeah, they're used to. Oh, also just realized the dark green bottom.
Yes,
of Fiona's
that's what I talked about in my video. I was like, for like Green Dragon royalty, for like peasants, like that's like the part I'm probably the most excited about.
Yeah, actually, that made me actually want that figure because I did not want it before that. Like, yeah. So and then like even the Executioner has some really cool parts on him. So honestly, I look at him and I think Fright Knights. I don't know why. He feels like some of those parts feels like Basil without his armor.
You know, I think I might have actually said this in my video that I was going to try to use his hood for like Fright Knight like cultists. I'm going to use like the hood.
Even just cultists is such a fun idea.
Even just like generic cultists, but like I feel like the hood with like those like yellow eyes, it has a cool look. Yeah, I mean I agree with you in the sense that like I could care less about like Shrek, and I could care less like this as a CMF. I would not want to collect this as just like for the figures, but I do think there's some gems here in terms of like usable parts.
Yeah.
I think the fairy godmother, her like dress part and her printed arms and her torso are all going to be good for like if you want to make like flesh toned like royalty or nobles.
Agreed.
That's pretty cool. What's his name? The short guy. This is how Lord Farquaad. I think his printed arms are sick. The cape is good. The hat could be good for like a tax collector or like a merchant or like nobles. His face is good. Like you said,
Yeah,
Prince Charming has some like good parts.
Prince Charming, I was thinking Crown Knights, honestly.
Yep.
A lot of his parts would be good for Crown
Oh,
Knights.
for sure.
And the nice thing is, if you buy multiple Prince Charming and Farquaad, like if you build flesh tones, you get a couple more flesh heads that you can use, which is a nice little bonus. Now, it's not the best heads, but it's still like something that you can throw into that mixture there.
I mean, you don't get a lot of heads with blonde eyebrows in flesh tones, so
that's true.
That's nice. Also the wizard Merlin, he has really nice arm printing and good torso printing, and also his hat's pretty good. So like, you know, I think there's definitely, you know, I've already heard about people finding them early. I've been like kind of like searching around, like, okay, can I get my hands on these? But like, yeah, no, I mean, I'm definitely excited for some of them, and then some of them I'm like, there's nothing usable if you're a Castle fan, like the Gingerbread Man, the Big Bad Wolf, Pinocchio. I'm just like, yeah, no, these are like, if you're trying to make custom.
Actually, no, Pinocchio will be useful. Dual molded flesh toned arms.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Yeah,
no, you're right.
I just thought about that.
Yeah. So like, I don't know.
Even like Puss in Boots, I don't feel like is as useful.
That's true.
Like,
that's true.
If his hat can come off, he'll be sort of useful, but
doesn't. I was disappointed. I was like, if the hat comes off, that's a nice hat, but no. I mean, you know, for me, I already pretty much treat CMFs like parts packs, because I just I'm already just like, I see a CMF and I'm like, what are the parts I can use to make my own things? Because like, I'm just not like a huge Lego collector in general, but you know, so the Shrek CMF, there's some good parts. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's better than like another F1 car CMF. Or like,
agreed.
Or like,
Spider-Man. Hopefully,
or like
we don't get that again.
Oh no! Surely they won't release another one in 2027, right? No, I mean, like,
that would be the worst.
There's worse CMFs that could have released instead of Shrek.
Agreed.
So it's like there's at least probably like 20, 25 like good parts for Castle. So I'm happy with it, just based off of that.
Yeah. So again, we have. There's some stuff that we physically know is going to happen. And I think all this stuff, there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, mixed in between, but also like there's hope for, like, again, the CMFs and even the claw machine. I have hope for it. I think it's going to look awful, but like, it'll still be cool to get the figures and have that going. Pab,
agreed.
All the Lord of the Rings stuff. Honestly, none of those are misses. None of those were like, ooh, Lord of the Rings Book Nook. No, it's like,
ooh, Sauron bust. Like,
yeah,
exactly. That. You know, it's like, no, all of them are like, they're gonna be cool. They're gonna be cool.
Exactly. So, well, first off, before we move on to my next idea here, hit that subscribe button, guys. If you're new to the channel and want more Lego Castle content, hit that subscribe button. If you want even more, you should go subscribe to Rio Bricks, which will be linked down below, or you can click on the collab feature and he'll be there. But yeah, like, you want more of this kind of content, hit that subscribe button. We try to keep you guys updated on everything that's happening in Castle and Fantasy. And also, we love making customs. We love showing you how you can even use bad Castle stuff to make cool Castle stuff. So, yeah. Now, I really want to talk about some theories I have for the future. All right.
Okay.
We're gonna put on our tinfoil hats. We're gonna clip. We've talked about some of them, how I think personally Lord of the Rings is about to make a comeback. I think right now, we got 3 Lord of the Rings sets. How many Lord of the Rings sets this year? We just got Minas Tirith and Sauron helmet.
So Sauron helmet
last year we had
Sauron. Oh yeah. That was this year. So yeah, we got those 2 this year.
Yeah, and then last year was Book Nook and Shire. So we went from 2 to 3. So there's one more set. And of course, whatever gift with purchase Helm's Deep comes with, I'm guessing it still will have one.
Oh yeah. So
we're getting that. Maybe they're just testing the waters more, because I know Minas Tirith did pretty well for a $650 set. Shire didn't do great. Rivendell did fantastic, and Barad-dûr did better than the Shire.
I mean, yeah,
it's,
you know, the other thing that I think is at least for the Oliphant set, the leaked piece count is the exact same as the Shire, and the Shire got a gift with purchase. So
yeah,
we could get a gift with purchase with that.
I don't think the Oliphant will get a gift with purchase. I'm personally, I feel like we would have heard about that by now if it actually
That's fair. No, you're right. They probably, I guess it is so close. But I think Prancing Pony, there might be a gift with purchase. It kind of depends
Maybe.
on the size. We have no idea how many pieces it's going to be.
Yeah.
So it's like if it's like a fairly big set, then maybe. If it's like on like the smaller end, then probably not.
Yeah, and I think it's like I don't know because like Shire was their big set for that year, so I think that's why it got the
That's true.
gift of
That's
purchase.
true.
But I think Helm's Deep will definitely have one, which will probably
Oh,
be
yeah.
some sort of orc pack if I had to guess. Because I'm guessing if they're doing Helm's Deep, they're gonna focus. I don't think we're gonna get many Yorkai. I think it's gonna be mostly the good guys who are defending it, like we got with Minas Tirith.
Probably.
And then at some point we're gonna get Isengard, and that's a theory I definitely have. Is I think we're gonna get some big Isengard set at some point, or something like the Orc Forge.
Yeah.
You know, something to, or even I don't know why they haven't done this yet, but an Ent with some orcs, like
That too. Yep. Just give us
Like-
some orcs in like a affordable set. Come on.
yeah,
The orcs
Yeah.
are like $20 on Bricklink. Like you cannot
It's
you
so
cannot
bad.
army build orcs.
it's so bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
So I think Lord of the Rings is ramping up, and I think that's a big theory of mine of like we're gonna and maybe even a Hunt for Gollum set. I'm wondering if they might do just one just to push the movie, because I do know that they tend to. Now we don't know this yet, but we need to wait to see what's going to happen with the marketing, because if they start over marketing the movie, usually that means the movie's going to be bad because they just want to try to get as many people in the theater as day one as possible before word of mouth spreads, which means they also might try to sell a set because they want to try to get. But maybe if it's really good, they'd also want to sell a set because they know that people are going to want one. But also, if we do get a Hunt for Gollum set and the movie's good, it might be like 2 years later.
I mean, all I'm saying is the last time there was a Lord of the Rings movie, it was the Hobbit movies, and we got sets. So, I mean,
Yeah,
Oh.
but that's also like what, 2013
Yeah.
when Lego used to actually do that.
and they actually made like small sets for themes. Yeah, that's true. No, I don't know. I have like a small, like a little bit of hope that we might see a like multiple sets released alongside Hunt for Golem. I don't think it's super likely, but I think there's like maybe like a 10 to 20% chance that we'll get like some battle packs and like some like multiple sets. But like I think there's probably
Yeah.
at least like a 50% chance we'll at least get one Hunt for Golem set. But,
yeah, for sure. So
Well, we'll see.
I think Lord of the Rings is good. I could honestly see Lord of the Rings becoming a actual theme, and them just being like, well, here's your castle line, which I would be okay with. I would be very happy if Lord of the Rings got a theme.
Yeah.
But I'd be a little bit sad we're still not getting castle sets on top of that. So
I agree.
however,
Yeah.
if we were to get castle sets, 50th anniversary of Lego Castle would be the time. And you've been wanting to talk about this. I'm gonna let you talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, I have, you know, I think this is a little bit of like hopium here that I'm like, you know, but you know, it's like 50th anniversary of Lego Castle. Lego Castle has just throughout the past few years, it's had sort of like a resurgence of like adults are getting into it. Like I feel like Castle as a theme is currently growing. And I also will hear people like on like my comments or people in like the Castle Discord or I don't know, other places, they'll be like, you know, I was collecting Lego Star Wars before, but like, you know, I like the creativity that like, you know, an unlicensed IP like Castle was. So now I actually am just collecting Castle. Or like, you know, there's people who are like, you know, fans of other themes and they're like, I'm unhappy with the state of like Star Wars or Marvel or something. So they want to try another theme. Like Castle's cool. So it's like, I think the Castle fan base is literally just growing. I think it's only getting higher. It's not like a fan base
Yeah.
where it's like, it's starting to drop off. Like, you know, sales are dropping. And I think Lego might be sort of, you know, the reason why this year was like pretty light in 2027 is like, you know, we're not getting apparently not very much Castle aside from the machine, but then because it's like then 2028 will be like the big year for Castle where it's like we get some $50 creator sets, you know. I think there's a good chance we maybe don't get battle packs just because Pick-a-Brick already kind of fills that role, but it's like, you know, maybe we get like a couple of like mid-range creator sets. It's like a small creator like drop, or we even just get an actual Castle theme. So I mean, I don't know, you know, we'll definitely hear more like next year, 2027. We'll start to hear like the 2028 leaks, and we'll get sort of a sense of like, does it look like there's like, you know, one big set? Is it like multiple sets? I mean, at the very least, we're going to get one big Castle set. Like there's no way we don't get at least one set for the 50th anniversary of Castle. But I think it's like how much further do they go is kind of like the real question here.
Yeah. I think it's hard because I don't always know when Lego is very picky and choosy about what anniversaries they honor.
It's true.
I sometimes I personally think, I don't think there's anyone in the Lego boardroom going, hey guys, you know what's happening in a couple years? What's that, Frank? I think the 50th anniversary, 50th anniversary of Lego Castle's happening. We need to make sure we honor that. No, I hate to say it, but it's just like, to me, I think we're playing some devil's advocate here. Like, they don't care. They're like, all right, what new theme can we grab up? What new this? They don't care. But at the same time, there's very passionate designers who are getting into Lego and working at Lego right now.
Yeah.
And some of them might go, we have to do something for the 50th anniversary of Lego Castle, or sneak it into a city or 3-in-1 set.
Yeah.
Which I'd be very okay if they stuck something into a city set. I think that'd be cool, especially if it was something cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see that happening, because we've been seeing a lot of original themes get put into city and creator sets. So I would be okay with that. However, I do agree, if it's the 50th anniversary, or even when it's the 100th anniversary of Lego, we should be getting a massive castle set that year. Like, I'm talking even maybe a $200-$300 castle.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. And it's, again, you have all these minifigure parts. You have all the parts. You could make a great castle right now with 1 or 2 new parts, and it would still be an amazing set. So I'm confused. I agree with you, because I'm confused why this isn't the case. And it does feel like, oh, well, because maybe they're like, hey, you know what? 2026, we're going to do we're going to let the Horse Knight Castle be on shelves. 2027, we'll throw out the Castle Claw Machine, and that will just be the holdover until the big item.
Yeah.
But I think you're snorting too much opium. I hate to say that, but like maybe I'm snorting too much downpium. I don't know.
I got my tinfoil hat on. The castle line is coming, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I have no idea. That's like best case scenario. Best case scenario is they're like, we're gonna honor 50th anniversary, and we're gonna do like a small castle line, or like a line of castle sets within Creator, or like, that's like, best case scenario is that. But also Lego seems allergic to doing that for some reason. So it's like, I don't know. It might just be more of the same, where it's like, we still cannot get a castle set under $100, but we'll see.
I wonder if they could do, well, okay, for the record, they could do a CMF line dedicated to Castle that year.
I'll take that.
I'd be very okay.
That.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay.
Because I was like, I wonder if they could do Year of the Castle like they did with Year of the Space.
Yeah.
Because it's the 50th anniversary of Castle. I doubt it.
Pretty likely. Like the Castle CMF.
Castle CMF, but also you could do like, if it was the Year of the Castle, I'm saying they could do Castle CMF, Castle Creator set, Castle City set, and you do a Castle Icon set.
I think it's pretty possible.
But again, I think a CMF or Icon set has to happen that year.
100%.
But could be wrong. And I will say, we're talking about Creator 3-in-1. We do know what January's Creator 3-in-1 sets are going to be. Sadly, you look at this, there's nothing Castle related. But usually if we get some Castle, because we got Pirates this year, Castle the year before, I could still say there's that little Snake Knight Castle on the Horse Knight Castles box. We could be getting a Serpent Knight Castle in summer. Usually it's summer. So, but also at the same time, like, we got the Viking one at one point. We got...
That's true, yeah. I think the Viking one was a January release, wasn't it?
No, that was also... I think it was August.
Oh, was it August?
Or June that they dropped. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Let me just quickly go through the last ones we've gotten. It was Pirates this year, Castle last year. The year before was Vikings?
Yes. Yeah.
And then it was Castle.
Well, but Vikings was an idea set.
No. Lego the 3-in-1 Viking.
Oh, the Viking ship. Oh. Sorry. Yeah. No. Yeah, I was thinking about the Viking village. No. You're right. You're right. That's true.
Was there?
Because it was Castle. Then it was the pirate ship. Then it was the Viking ship. Then it was No,
you had that wrong.
Wait.
It was Pirates was the first one that I can remember going back to.
Okay.
And Pirates is also the most recent one we've got.
Okay, yeah, but after the Pirates, then it was the 3-in-1 Castle, is what they did.
Yes,
yeah.
The 3-in-1 Black Falcon's Castle,
yeah.
And then it was the Viking, and I can't remember if they took a year off or that was the next.
3-in-1 Black Falcon Castle is 2021.
So 2022
right?
is Viking ship.
Because the blacksmith was 2020, and then that was 2021. So yeah, 3-in-1 is 2021.
Yes.
Then the Viking ship would be 2022.
And then nothing 2023, 2024 was no, because that was 25. So it skipped 2 years?
I guess.
What were the big 3-in-1 sets those summers?
I don't even know. If it's not one of the big
Yeah.
themes, I'm not even paying attention to it.
No, me either. Okay. So there's a possible chance that next year we get nothing in the summer, and I'm more leaning towards that. I could see, though, something like a 3-in-1 Ninja, 3-in-1 Ancient China
cool.
set, 3-in-1, like, I don't know. We have a lot of minifigure parts right now that's out there for that kind of thing. So
we did get the
I-
Ancient Moon Grazing Inn, which was like,
Yes.
that was cool.
I have the photo of that. So I'm actually building the set right now, and I love it. I want to actually do a full review on this set because it's a really fun build. And honestly, this is the other style of set I'd love for them. There could be another one of these next year too, because they experiment. Because it's not Chinese New Year. I think it's Chinese Celebration or something like that. It's called. No matter what, fantastic set with a fantastic minifigure lineup. And I wouldn't be surprised if next year, I think this one's selling very well.
Oh,
I wouldn't
I
be
think
surprised if next year we got another style of this set and you could build out sort of a village.
Well, the thing is, I feel like everyone online who's talking about this set is like, oh yeah, this is a great set. It's a good value, good build, good piece count. Like everyone's happy with the set, and it's like, okay, like Lego, like this is what you need to do for like, you know, making your own like own IP stuff. It's like you pull out something like this, you know, if you did like this for like Castle, like just like a small, you know, medieval village style one like this, where it's just like, you know, I think that would sell.
I think you can even, I still have been saying for a while, I don't know why they don't just jump into, you don't have to go, hey, this is ancient China or ancient Greece or ancient, you know, feudal Japan or ancient Egypt, whatever. You can literally just go, we're going to pull inspiration from these other cultures like they do with Ninjago all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then build a set around it. Like this set, like Ninja from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing can go for this set. Like, yeah, I mean, this one's actually supposed to be based on China.
Yeah.
But like, still, why not? Those torsos, and like, there's like a ton of new torso prints in this set.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah. I mean, yeah, they could totally do this for, you know, a slightly different, you know, other, like you said, you know, you could take inspiration from like just a variety of things and just make something like that. I mean, people like this kind of set.
Yes. Yeah. And even people who are not Castle fans are just like, oh, that's cool. I like the architecture and all that.
Exactly.
So I also think that could be something we see next year. Again, 3-in-1, I don't know much about, but I also wouldn't mind seeing a 3-in-1 set that's that ancient China, ancient Japan, you know.
I'd be cool with that.
I'd be very cool with that. And then the other option is there might be another IP that's randomly picked up. Lego is like picking up IPs.
It's
like
like hard to keep track of. It's like, what? There's like Olivia Rodrigo sets coming out. Like there's like the most random like IPs where it's like, what? Like this is gonna be a Lego set now? It's like, okay. But like, yeah, I mean they're picking up a little bit of everything. But there could be some wild card, you know, fantasy IP that they pick up. You know, I mean, I was disappointed they didn't do more with D&D.
Yeah,
you know, but
I
like,
agree.
you know,
I don't know why they aren't doing more with D&D. D&D was amazing CMF line, amazing set, and it pairs so perfectly with Lego.
Yeah, no, I mean that shocked me because after the D&D CMF, like everyone was like raving about how good of a CMF that was. Even people who don't care about Castle or Fantasy at all were like, "This is a really nice CMF. Like this is just like solid figures."
Yeah,
and I was like, "Oh, we're definitely gonna get like some more D&D sets. Like they're gonna like lean into this. Like people like this." And it was like nothing. And it's like, that was a great opportunity to like, if you wanted to have like a fantasy line, and it's like, you know, you can get kids who are into, you know, D&D can appeal to people of like all ages, and it's just like fun fantasy creatures and stuff. Like I thought they totally could have done like a 5-6 set like D&D line. And like I think that would have sold incredibly well. I don't know why they didn't do that.
You could have taken the entire D&D set and turned that into 5 different sets. You can literally make a story that connects between, like, they built a whole story around the D&D idea set. You literally just have to do a D&D campaign that is all the sets, but you can also just make it so you want if you just want one of the sets, you can have it, and it's just cool. And there's monsters, and there's bad guys, and there's, you know, heroes, but there's also like, you know, just generic orcs and goblins that you know, fight, and slime creatures, or, you know, buildable monsters. And then there's like little buildings, you know, some of the smaller here. This is my pitch. Smaller ones are like the monsters,
Yes.
and like little encounters and stuff like that. Like, again, you have I don't know, roadside encounter where there's like a couple orcs, and then you have your main, you know, one of your characters, and then there's one that's like the owl bear. That's like literally the build for it.
I mean, you can even have
and
poly
then you
bags
get-
of like the buildable like monsters that are like about 50 parts, you know, like a poly bag like that. Like, and I actually had a video idea like a year ago that I never ended up doing, because this is when like right after like the D, actually this is like almost like 2 years ago now, like when the D&D CMF ended, and I was like, what are they gonna do next for D&D? And I was gonna do some like custom like builds and show like 5 sets that Lego could do, of like, here would be like a $20 like, you know, owl bear encounter set, and you have like some like rocks, and then you have like 2 heroes and like the owl bear, and it's like, this is like, because, you know, the thing is, people always, when you're talking about like castle, I think people tend to bring up like, well, the reason why castle doesn't appeal to kids is because they don't want just a gray building. They want like a motorcycle and like a car and like stuff they can like interact with. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. So then, you know, something more fantastical like D&D seems the perfect outlet for that, because it's like you can have a brick built like monster or creature and like some small scenery, and then the kids can play with like their figures and like the monster and stuff like that. But then also the adults who want like the figures and they want the monsters for their own builds and collection, they want to buy it too.
Yeah. And that's the pitch, dude. Screw dealing with the money that you have to pay whatever company I don't know the company that owns D&D.
Hasbro.
Is it Hasbro or
Hasbro
whatever it is?
Yeah, now, yeah.
Yeah. Screw paying the IP tax. Just make a fantastical theme that's that. Like, you have your hero kind of style characters, and then you have monsters, and then maybe the biggest set is the dungeon or castle kind of thing.
I mean,
like,
look at Dreams. Dreams is like a similar thing, but in a way more like weird, like modern, but like also fantastical. Stupid. Like, Dreams just sucks. Dreams sucks. It's not like, it's not cohesive. But it's like, you could easily have something similar where it's actually just like, this is fantasy, and there's like wizards and knights and stuff like that. And it's like, instead of it being like, here's the space knight dude who's like riding this floating shark, and it's like, okay, well, like adults don't want that. Maybe kids think it's cool, but it's like, you know, you have something a little bit more cohesive, like a D&D type thing, where it's like you have these like brick built monsters, and you have like, you know, like the big set is like this like vampire's castle, and it's like, you know, you can have like cool stuff like that, and it'll appeal to kids and adults. And it's like, that feels like the perfect in between there, where there's like the smaller sets can be interactive for kids, and there's like fun creatures, and you could even have, you know, but then there's also, you know, you can release the bigger sets where it's like, here's more of a set piece, and adults are gonna like buy this up like crazy.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. And again, there's so many ways that they could go about doing this that's not just your classic castle, and still incorporate those fantasy. Because again, what my point is, I love castle, but I love fantasy as a whole. And the thing is, you can make a theme like that appeals to both audiences. The ones that just want they want to build like historical battles, and then there's the ones who want to build fantasy things.
It's like a full
the
spectrum.
Thing is,
like the historical people and like the very like fantasy people, and it's like you could have something that appeals to like everyone.
Yes. The issue is, fantasy is one of the biggest genres. Like, genuinely.
Oh, yeah.
Like, how there's so many fantasy book series, movies, all of that. Like, Game of Thrones. I think it would be cool to get Game of Thrones sets, but I'm also never watched Game of Thrones, so I have no opinion on any of this.
That would be like a dream for me.
But but like, it was one of the most popular TV shows. Probably not just because it was fantasy, but like, that was a very popular. Lord of the Rings was super popular. There's other genres of, you know, movies and stuff of fantasy that was right. I mean, the D&D movie did pretty well. So I just, to me, it's like, why aren't they appealing to that fantasy audience more?
Yeah.
You know, you have a lot of crazy, weird stuff that Lego's willing to do. And even they're willing to get animes now. There's fantasy anime shows. Pull from that. So
I mean, there's also just a ton of people who just like play D&D. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like there's just like
so
there's so many
and they
people,
just
like,
want the parts.
yeah. So it's like, I mean, like there's so many people. I mean, for me, I think probably like, something that I thought Lego could have done is when Elden Ring came out. I think that could have been like a cool like fantasy collab, and it's like lighthearted enough. It's like, it's like animated and like lighthearted enough to where they could have done that. Like, I don't know. There's so many fantasy IPs that it's like Lord of the Rings, one of like the biggest movie trilogies of all time. Like Game of Thrones, like one of like the biggest like shows of all time, where it's like everyone's like, you got to watch this. And like Elden Ring is like one of the top like games like ever. Like there's like so many of these like fantasy IPs are just like, so many people like these. They're already like at the top of like whatever category they are. And it's like, come on, Lego. Like there is clearly an audience for fantasy, period. There's an audience for all sorts of stuff that is vaguely medieval fantasy in some way. Like you got to do more.
But we got Harry Potter sets. Harry Potter's fantasy and castles.
That's what I hate, is that it seems like Harry Potter is like their replacement for like, oh, this is the fantasy line, and it's like, no,
it's not. Harry Potter is a very different genre of fantasy. That
Harry Potter takes place in our modern world. Like, yes, there are fantasy elements, but it's like, I think a core part of fantasy is it feeling like a different like time period. You know what I mean? Like Harry Potter, it literally happens like there's phones, and like there's like like landline phones, and like it's just like, that's not a fantasy theme. That's not a proper fantasy theme. And also Harry Potter is very much a theme that is aimed at kids, and it's like, I mean, there's definitely the adult portion of the audience, but like, it's definitely more of like a kid
trying to do yeah. There's a lot of adults that's coming out for it nowadays.
Yeah, now I mean, now they're trying to make every theme an adult theme.
Yes, which is also a whole nother issue. So go back to the point of this video in a way. Is Lego Castle dead?
Yes. It's absolutely done for. We have no hope.
I will be honest. I think we're getting close. I think in the next few, I think Lego has 3 years.
Yeah.
And if they don't do something good castle related, I don't think the castle fan base is going to die. I think the castle fan base has only been getting stronger the less they've done, actually. But I will say, castle as a whole is going to die out if Lego doesn't give us stuff in the next few years. And I'm talking more than just figures. I mean, the figures are a great thing to hold us over, but you got to do a medieval, like I was so excited when we got Lion Knight's Castle, Medieval Town Square, all those, like it gave me hope that more stuff was coming out. I've been losing that hope a lot over the last.
I was
like, yeah, we got that massive spike.
Like, okay, great. Like Lego Castle's looking great, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now they're just not releasing anything, and it's like, come on.
Yeah, we were getting like they're killing it with the CMFs. They were killing it with like every part of it, and I was just like, now I'm just like, ooh, like everyone's like very optimistic, and I'm like, guys, I just know Lego too well at this point.
Yeah,
like they're an X that keep, you just know exactly what's going to happen if you try to go back down that road with them. No,
I mean, it's good to be optimistic, but it's like you also have to be realistic and be like, okay,
yes,
what is our hope? Our hope is we get like a full castle theme, and like there's a big rebirth of the theme, but we also have to be realistic, and it's like Lego is making less and less, like they're making less and less like smaller sets just in general for like themes. Like Star Wars is becoming more like big set focused, because like I think the big sets is like what makes them like the big profit margin sets are those big sets,
And you also got to remember, an argument one of my friends made for the Death Star, and he was not for it, he just hates that this is the direction it looks like Lego's going. For the Death Star, only one person needs to buy that set, and they just made $1,000 that day. Black John Cruiser, $100. 10 people, they had to find 10 different people who wanted that set to make $1,000 off that set. So if you think about it, the bigger sets, they just have to find one person who wants them. And that's their profit. Like they make crazy profit off it.
Yeah, it's like they need like 10% of the people to buy $1,000 set that they need to like buy like $100 set. So it's like if they can make this like niche huge set where it's like, well, they know this very specific fan base is all going to want it. It's like, okay, well, I guess that works. But I think the other
Yeah.
thing you kind of have is where it's like if kids are getting priced out of certain themes,
Yep.
then the
Not even
longevity
kids.
of those themes. Yeah, even adults.
People who don't have money.
Yeah.
Like,
No, for sure. Exactly. It's like, like people who cannot afford the sets or kids or whatever, like, they might want their castle or fantasy stuff, but it's like if their only option is like a $100+ set and like I can't afford it, they're like, well, either I'm gonna buy another Lego theme or I'm just gonna go to another hobby that is like
Yeah.
cheaper. Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
it seems like Lego's like cool,
or buy
because, like,
knockoffs.
yeah, like I'm gonna either buy knockoffs or just go to a different hobby that doesn't require like a $100+ investment just to like get into the theme I want to get into,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that too, think about it. There's two sets I want to talk about to go with it. Like today, I'm just thinking off the top of my head. Today, the Mario sets were announced. There's a $15 Mario Kart set. That's Mario with his cart with some accessories. I'm going to tell you right now, that's going to be one of the best sold sets of whenever that
like
comes
has
out.
a Mario minifigure. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mario minifigure and his Mario Kart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like I'm gonna get that for any birthdays or Christmases where I know someone's a big Mario
Right.
fan. It's a great piece for adults to sit on their desk. Also fun to play with. Kids are gonna love that set, and it comes with the Mario minifigure. But
Yeah.
it's $15, which is
Super
great.
affordable.
Maybe
Yeah.
exactly. So that set is gonna sell amazing. I think it's, again, I personally think top 10 most sold sets of like just quantity wise of next year.
Of
after it
next
comes out.
year, yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I feel like it has to be. I mean, it's Mario in the Mario, like in his Mario Kart, like that's just
Yeah.
like
No, it's also iconic, but at the same time, it's at affordable price where, like, I would love it if I could go, I know my brother or I know my friend's a massive Lord of the Rings fan. I can get them this $10, $15 Lord of the Rings set.
Yeah.
Same thing with a lot of other fantasy things. Like, genuinely, if we had fantasy castle polybags, I would buy up hundreds. Like, I have a bunch of polybags that I keep in my car and I just hand out to kids. Like, when like kids that are friends of mine, like, my friends' kids, whatever, my nieces and nephews. Like, genuinely, I would be buying my nephew and nieces so many castle sets if there was ones for under $50. Like,
yeah, right. No,
and,
seriously,
like, my
yeah,
brother-
like I would like
yeah.
my friend's kid. He's like really into like Lego Castle. I'm like, man, if there was like a Lego Castle set like on the shelves for his birthday, I'd be like, yeah, here you go, like a $25 set,
Yeah.
cool. But it's like, well, if the only Lego Castle set on the shelves is like a $130 set, well, I can't just buy that as like a gift for anyone. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
that's a great point. Exactly. It's not just the people who are buying it for themselves, but it's also like, is this, people need to have like an affordable thing where it's like, cool, this person's a big fantasy nerd. Here's this fantasy themed Lego set. I can just buy them this. Sweet. Cool.
Yeah.
And it's like, even if they're not into Lego, they're probably going to enjoy it,
When the D&D CMFs came out, it was around Christmas time, and I asked for them for Christmas. And I swear I got it was I think like 12 from my brother or 6 from my brothers, like something like 9 or something like that. I got another like 4 or 5 from my parents. Like, my stocking was just filled with them.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I'm okay with this. Like, this is all I wanted. You guys could have gotten me only D&D CMFs, and I would have been perfectly. I don't even care if I'm getting duplicates. Like,
Yeah. No.
again,
Yeah.
it's just so frustrating because, again, it's something I want to give to people. I'm such a person who loves giving people Lego and
Yeah.
because it's something I know a lot of people won't buy for themselves.
Exactly.
But again, when it's like so many people I know are big fantasy fans and I can't even get them,
Well,
it's peppy.
I
It's a
play
peppy.
D&D. I got my Dungeon Master some D&D CMS
Yeah.
for Christmas. I was like,
Yeah.
oh sweet, you like D&D? He does not collect Lego at all. But I was like,
Yeah.
here you go, D&D CMFs, and he was like, oh sick, like the Mind Flayer and like this guy. He's like,
Yeah.
oh sick, like yeah, like that's super cool. Like I'll put these on my desk. I was like, sweet, like that's a
Yeah.
great thing. But like that was only available for like 4 months. It's like
Yeah.
we need something like that all the time where it's just like here's a cool little
Yes.
fantasy thing, a polybag, like an Owlbear polybag or something like that. Like that'd be sick. You know, like just something little like that would be perfect. Or even an
Another great
owlbear, even just
$10
a
set.
random like a troll, like a brick built like troll.
Yes.
Just like,
Yeah.
just something cool. And it's like everyone will like that.
There is a lot of great sets that came out this year for Ninjago, and I'm bringing this. It's relevant to what I'm about to say, not just because I want to bring up Ninjago. There was a great Ninjago set, and
You're trying to indoctrinate
I have
me.
2 of them over here, and I don't have any of them in arm's reach. But it's a $20 set, and it's this big like it's gorilla mammoth looking creature, and it's got these big tusks. I'm pretty sure it's good. And then it's got a guy on it with versus 2 ninja. Super, super awesome set. $20 set. It was probably one of my most looked forward to sets since it got announced for this year.
Yeah, just something
probably
like
top
that.
5.
People want that.
I picked up 2 of them. I didn't care. I like the one of the figures is awesome with it. I'm gonna sell the other 2 ninja that come with it, but I'm gonna like keep the little beast. But I love that set, and it's like genuinely, again, I will go to the store and I'm willing to drop $20 on a set here and there.
Yeah.
But like that's impulse buy. I want something impulse buy price.
That's true.
You know,
That's true. Anything Castle or Fantasy, I'm not gonna impulse buy at the store.
No.
If it's like a $20 battle pack and I'm like, oh, it's like 20% off now, shoot, I'll buy like a couple copies, sure.
Yeah, and the thing on top of it too is it's not just about the old fans; it's about getting a new fans. Because if a new fan can impulse buy a set, then they're like, "Sweet, I'm in. Let's do this." Like, oh, let me dip my toes in. Let me dip my toes in with this $15 set. Oh wait, this is actually really cool. Well, maybe I will get the $650 Minas Tirith set.
You know, that's actually how I got into Magic the Gathering recently. I started with like some small stuff. I was like, oh, I'll buy like $10 of cards, you know, whatever, that's fine. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, this is sick. I'm having a ton of fun. And the next thing you know, I'm like online, like ordering on like, you know, I'm like, okay, I'm going to spend $100 to make this deck. Like, yeah, sure. Why not? You know what I mean? It's like you get people into stuff with that like small thing where it's like, here's a little impulse buy. Let me just see this. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, that person's like really into it. And it's like, you know, Lego wants to sell those big sets because those probably have like their highest profit margin.
Yeah.
But like to get the people who are the fans of those who are willing to drop a couple hundred or $1,000 or even just $100, you have to get people into that theme.
Yes.
For people to even like be considering to buy that, right? Because it's like if you asked me like 2 months ago, like, would you buy like $100 just like on like Magic cards? I'd be like, what? Like, no. But like if I'm at the store and it's like $10 and I'm like, sure, why not? And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, now I'm really into this. You know, it's like I think the same thing with like Lego or just like any sort of hobby. It's like you need to have like an entry point that's going to interest people, you know? And it's like, you know, if anybody's like a fantasy fan, but they don't really do anything with Lego, like there's not that impulse buy set at the store where they can go, here's a, you know, cave troll, brick built cave troll versus some like adventurers for like $15. Like, you know what? This looks cool. I'll buy it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. With all that saying, yeah, we're screwed when it comes to Lego Fantasy. I hate to say it, guys. Like until Lego actually starts getting their stuff together, we're screwed. Like Lego Fantasy and Lego Fantasy is one of my favorite things, and yet I still think it's going downhill very quickly. I don't think 2027 will be the end.
Yeah.
But I do think we still have enough time for Lego to turn this around. It just all depends what higher ups at Lego are doing. So,
yeah.
You know what a way, guys, that you can make sure Lego Castle stays on shelves? First off, buying Castle and Pick a Brick and sets, but also by supporting us. Because if we're talking, the more people we get into Lego Castle, the more people who are spending money on Lego Castle, the more Lego will go, we need to be doing more Lego Castle stuff. So, as always, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Let us know in the comments down below what castle sets you would love to see, what your thoughts on what we talked about in this video.
If you completely disagree with us, let us know.
Yes, if you do, especially if you disagree with us. And if you agree with it, you should write us like multiple comments in the just down below saying how much you disagree with us.
Yep, we will read them all.
Yes, totally. Actually, I will actually read every comment I get. I do read.
Oh yeah,
do I
try
respond
to
to every comment?
Single,
no,
I try. If there's a comment that has something to respond to, I try to respond to it. But like,
that's
you know, it gets hard as you start to get more and more comments, and I'm like,
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Rio, anything else that you want to wrap up? Say before we wrap up this video.
You know, I think if Lego, if Lego gets it all together and they're like, I think the Castle fan base is growing and there's definitely an opportunity to make a lot of money here, but like Lego needs to see that and like act soon, because otherwise I think the fan base will starting to like die out a little bit if there's no sets, no more new people to get into it, you know, then it starts dying out. So it's like, you know, Lego they have to recognize like people want fantasy stuff.
Yep. And also, if you don't start them young, this sounds so bad, but if you don't start them young, then when they're older, they aren't going to want to buy it. Like they
Exactly.
aren't, when they get to our age, they're not going to be wanted by Minas Tirith or any of that kind of thing. So like, you got to make sure that kids and people have an entry point, as you said, and that's when we go back to those $15 sets.
I mean, digging out my old Lego Kingdom stuff was what got me into Lego Castle. I literally went through my old bulk bin.
Yes.
I found like the King's Castle broken apart, and I was like, I'm gonna build my own castle. And then from there, I was like, you know, I started watching Goldfire, started watching you, and I was like, okay, I gotta, I'm into this now. Like you gotta have people who have that childhood experience of like, I like
Yeah.
Lego Castle, and then once they're older, they're like, I'm ready to spend that way too much money on Lego Castle now, right?
Yeah. I don't know anything about that.
No, definitely don't look behind you. Yeah.
Yeah, exact. No, block that all up. Yeah, I don't have the yellow castle sitting on the floor next to me. I only spent $50 on that one, so I can't say much.
Good deal. Yeah.
But guys, thank you, Rio. Thank you so much for joining me on this. So glad we could finally get together and do a video like this, and we're definitely gonna have to do more videos. In the future.
Thank you for having me on. No, we'll definitely, if there's more stuff to talk about, we'll definitely have some more like just chats like this where we can just like give our thoughts on stuff.
Oh yeah.
And you know, if we get some big castle leaks, you know, might have to talk about that. You know.
Maybe even live. Maybe we'll start doing live streams talking about it. Who knows? We'll try some stuff. All right, guys. If you want us to do more stuff, again, let us know. You can go find him on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok too, I believe.
YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I'm on all the stuff. Rio Bricks.
There we go. And if you want to keep up with what's happening in Lego Castle, first off, join the Castle Discord server. I'll make sure that's linked down below. And also join my Discord server if you want to see behind the scenes, know about any future videos that are coming about. And also, I talk about anything new that's happening in Lego Castle. So it's most like, I'll be talking about it the second it happens. Well, if I'm awake or looking at my phone. But yeah, like I usually am talking about it right then and there. So if you don't want to wait for me to my thoughts until a video, join my Discord. And yeah, that's all I got. Until next time, I hope you guys enjoyed this tale from my archives.